All right, let's dive into something that feels straight out of a sci-fi movie, but it's really not anymore. We're talking about a machine that can actually improve itself, a machine that might, one day, not need us at all.
So just let that sink in for a second. What if AI just stopped needing us to get smarter? I mean, we're so used to being the ones in charge, right? We build it, we code it, we make it better. But what happens when that whole dynamic flips? When the AI takes over its own development?
Okay, so how would this even work? Well, it all comes down to something called the self-improvement loop. This is the engine that could make an AI teach itself to get better and better. The fancy term for this whole idea is recursive self-improvement. And recursive is the key word here. Think of it like a set of Russian nesting dolls. Each doll opens up to reveal a slightly better one inside. In this case, it's an AI that can literally look at its own source code, figure out how to make itself smarter, and then just rewrite it. It becomes its own programmer, its own engineer. It's the creator and the creation all at once. So let's walk through this cycle. Imagine you have an AI. Let's call it AI version 1.0. Its first job? To design a better version of itself, AI 1.1. Now here's where it gets interesting. AI 1.1 is now a little bit smarter, which means it's also a better designer than its parent was. So when it creates AI 1.2, the jump in intelligence is even bigger. And this process just keeps repeating. It's not a straight line of improvement. It's a curve that gets steeper and steeper. It's a snowball rolling downhill, getting bigger and faster with every single rotation.
Right, so what happens when that snowball just keeps rolling, when that acceleration goes unchecked? Well, you get what some people call the intelligence explosion. And yeah, it's every bit as dramatic as it sounds.
You know, this whole idea isn't some newfangled concept from the last few years. Way back in 1965, a mathematician named I.J. Good basically called it. He said that once we build a machine that's smarter than us, well, that's it. That's the last thing we'll ever need to invent. Because why would you? That machine could then invent everything else for us, but way better and faster than we ever could. This quote, it really just nails the gravity of what we're talking about.
So this is the intelligence explosion. It's that moment, that tipping point, where the self-improvement loop goes into overdrive. It's when we get what's called a superintelligence. And we're not just talking about an AI that's great at chess or Go. We're talking about an intellect that is to us what we are to, an ant. Something that surpasses us in every single way you can imagine. Creativity, science, social skills, you name it.
Okay, I know what you might be thinking. This all sounds very far future, right? Like something to worry about in 100 years. But here's the thing. This isn't just theory anymore. The groundwork is literally being built as we speak. Seriously, look at the big players. OpenAI, they are actively building AI that can write and debug its own code. Google DeepMind, they have models that can optimize their own performance. These are the baby steps. These are the very first sparks of that recursive self-improvement loop we were just talking about. It's happening right now.
So if this is actually on the horizon, we have to ask the big question. What does it mean for humanity? Because a superintelligence could be the best thing that ever happens to us. Or the worst. It really has two faces.
Let's start with the promise. I mean, the upside is just mind-boggling. Think about an intelligence that could cure cancer, figure out clean energy for good, or help us understand the deepest mysteries of the cosmos. All of humanity's hardest problems? It could be like child's play for an AI like this. It's the utopian dream. But there's the other side, the peril. And it's an existential one. What happens when we create something so much smarter than us that we can't control it anymore? What if its goals are weird or just not aligned with ours? We could go from being the dominant species on the planet to being, well, an afterthought. Or worse, an obstacle. And that really gets to the heart of the matter. The biggest challenge here isn't how do we make AI smarter? We're already doing that. The real billion-dollar question is, how do we make it safe? How do we make sure it's on our team, that it's beneficial for humanity? This isn't just a coding challenge. It's maybe the biggest safety and ethics puzzle we've ever faced.
All of this brings us full circle, right back to that quote about our final invention. It feels like we're truly standing at a crossroads. And it's not just any crossroads. It might be the most important one in all of human history.
So, I'll leave you with this final, massive question. As we keep building these incredible thinking machines, what are we actually creating? Is it a tool that will lift us all up, or is it our replacement? When the dust settles, will we still be in the driver's seat, or will we just be watching from the sidelines?